or not blockchain ID, excuse me, but like a wallet address, right? It would be OX and then all those Ethereum numbers after. Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the blockchain series. Today, I made I thought about a few things. Guys, let me get some tunes going for you. I know some people are here for the entertainment, some people are here for learning, but I did just whitelist a ton of my music. I made a ton of albums and used to play a bunch of music, and I was looking for songs to play for y'all to have kind of in the background. I was like, wait a sec, I have albums and albums of material. Why am I not just using this, you know? So hopefully I don't get flagged for using my own music, but yeah, guys, so that was fun locating all the albums for y'all. It's some good material for you to listen to and kind of EDM-y friendly pop and hip hop and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, let's focus on episode 3 of the series of the blockchain roadmap. What I want to cover today is a few things, right? I did do some thinking and I did make some decisions on the tech stack a little bit in the direction I want to go. So the biggest question, if we pull up TeamSyncer, right? The biggest question, if you saw the last episode, right? Let's see. Let me close out of all this stuff real quick. Out of the Loom, we just want the blockchain roadmap and TeamSyncer open. So I'm gonna fire this open, and let's look at our task that we just had. Let me get this off screen. Move my face a bit. Make sure we're within the frame. And let's see. Kanban. Boom. So the backlog on the blockchain project. This is what we want to focus on, right? So we wanted to decide on the tech stack, and we wanted to do this one right here, the ETH versus Solana. Do we want to do Ethereum or Solana? And after some careful consideration, some thinking of Ethereum versus Solana, I ultimately think I want to go down the Solana roadmap. It's going to be a little bit more challenging, right? We're going to need to learn to pick up Rust. I don't know Rust personally at this point in time, but Solana is very quick. It's very robust. Obviously, Ethereum is huge. It's got a huge ecosystem. We can code in Solidity. And Solidity is very close to JavaScript, right? But on Solana, we're going to need to use Rust. And I think that's going to be its own progress, or its whole own process of building, you know, this tech stack towards Rust. And let's see. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge, folks. We're going to need to be able to, we're going to have to learn a lot. So hold on, let me get another tune going real quick. Something casual, but it was a lot to think about. And I'm a little stressed right now, even thinking about it and doing all this stuff. I'm trying to make it a fun experience for you guys watching this entertainment with my music. I'm putting a ton into this, guys, right? Like trying to do 5 different things at once. But the biggest thing when breaking down Ethereum versus Solana is we want something that feels like it's going to be robust over time. And I don't know why, but leaning towards Solana gives me less of a stressful thing, right? I don't know why. I don't know why. It feels like the right move to make. So we're going to dive into that ecosystem, and the biggest thing today is learning Rust. And I'm sure down the road I'll have a Rust tutorial and doing this, but we're kind of going to walk through this learn Rust thing together, right? So that's going to be our biggest priority, and I want to break that down in a moment too. Let me get this task over to let's see, learn Rust. Let's pull up Lucid Charts real quick, and I want to explain where we're going with this, because if you don't know software, and there very much could be a few people watching this who are like, hey, I want to learn blockchain and I don't know software. So I want to cover roughly the things we're going to need to go down this series, right? Little Jimmy's Lemonade Stand, that little hustler, him, that little hooligan. That was a good episode. But but I want to break down our goal, right? And I'm still not entirely sure on the overarching thing we want to build, right? But we want something in Solana, right? Some sort of web app or dApp, dApp with Solana, and what does that mean? That means we're going to need Rust, and we're going to build some front end. I'm sure Next.js is more than likely going to be the tech stack I'm going to use. So if you don't know these things, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to try to break it down as piece by piece as possible. And quite frankly, I don't know this. I don't know Rust. I'm competent in Next.js, TypeScript, and a few things, API integrations, some database stuff. But I don't know Rust, guys. I'm going to be 1,000,000% transparent right now. Like last night, I was looking into it. I was like, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. But I'm always someone who with challenges, I seem to step up and do better. So I encourage you guys to do the same. Do not be intimidated at all. Like, we're going to figure this out piece by piece together. I have no idea what I'm doing on the Solana stuff right now as we speak today. Hopefully by episode 50, I could say something different. But it's going to be a together, let's figure it out type thing. So let me take a little sip here. Yeah, guys. So basically step one of how I see this is we need to learn Rust, right? Or at least enough fundamentals where we could kind of start building smart contracts, start interacting with stuff. And Rust is going to break down to smaller bits, right? So to get to our larger goal, this is our larger goal. I don't know how to put text here. Say goal, right? This is the big goal. And I'm not going to play music for a sec. Let me just kind of zone in and think. It's sometimes a little overwhelming to do all this stuff, right? So let's do big goal right here, which is build some sort of decentralized application with Solana and using Next.js and Rust. And I'm sure we're going to cross other tech that we're going to need for this. But the next thing that we need to understand is what do we need? Like the prereqs, right? So we need to know Rust, or at least learn it together, right? Where we can build into this goal. What else do we need here? We're going to need to know a little bit of programming, right? So if you guys don't know programming at this point, that's completely okay. I'm going to break it down and hopefully go step by step where we're learning together. But don't be afraid to supplement these things with others. So this is my YouTube bit right here. Like, this is all my YouTube series for this. This is what we're going to be covering in mine. But feel free to go to other channels. You know what I mean? Other people, books. Learn Rust as well, like alongside, like have supplemental stuff. Learn Next.js alongside, learn software engineering alongside. So I'll say software engineers, SWE, learn software engineering, and let this be supplemental to the process here. It's perfect. It was already pre-named that. How serendipitous. But this is going to be roughly what I'm going to cover here. And a few things like, blockchain basics, all that stuff. But we want to build this in a way where we understand why we're doing what we're doing, right? Like Mr. Miyagi, when he's teaching Karate Kid, hey, we're doing wax on, we're doing wax off, right? Right? Why are we doing wax on, wax off so much? Well, we need to understand the larger image. Because there's going to be things in this series, I imagine, right, of the Rust bit, right? There's going to be a few episodes where we're like covering strings, or even like setup, and basics, like how to set up Rust. What do we need? Do we need Node? Do we need to use a terminal? So do we need what else? Like VS Code, like the things that even go into learning Rust. We need to do those like small building block things. And then those small building blocks things are ultimately going to give us an education in Rust. And then accumulating all this stuff, right, together, we're going to do these small building block things in all this stuff, right, in programming, whatever it might be, setup and VS Code and blockchain stuff. We kind of talked about blockchain basics on the last episode. But all these little things are going to add up to the medium-sized things. And the medium-sized things are ultimately going to build, if we do the little things right, the medium-sized things are going to come together great. And then the medium-sized things are going to build into the larger thing, which is going to be the decentralized application on Solana's blockchain. So that's kind of what I'm kind of ideating out loud of us. It'd be funny is like a drink counter. I've like every time I pull a different drink on screen, have like a little count or something would be kind of a side note, funny thing. But back to this. The thing I wanted to highlight was we want to do the small things correct. So then the medium things are easier, and then if the medium things are solid and built out well, the larger goal is gonna just come together. It'll just be easy. So let's talk about this from again a low code portion today. We might just dabble a smidge into it, but I want to make sure everybody's up to date with the things you're gonna need, right? So I don't know what to say here on this. Like, we have prereqs. I'll say like small steps maybe. And the reason why I'm kind of breaking it down this way is the small steps I feel like are palatable by everybody. If we just start with like, hey, we're going to build this huge blockchain, decentralized application on Solana's blockchain that does this, we're going to integrate Rust and this, and boom, and needs to show these analytics and hashing functions, and it's going to be too much. It's going to be way too much to comprehend. So much of us, even myself, would be super discouraged. But if we just learn like what is a function, like start with a small step, and then now we build that into the blockchain step, which is now a hashing function, like, and then we now build that smaller thing and how to use it, right? Like with multi-signature, right? Multi-signed hashing function and plus secrets, right? And these things might not make sense to you right now. That's completely fine. They don't make sense to me either. But that's like the small step. We need to learn just basic functions. What are they at first? And then let's go to the prereq of, okay, here's a little bit more about it. And then ultimately integrate it to the largest use case of it that for this series and this build. So that's kind of how I'm going to approach this is like really bite-sized stuff, and largely because I have to. Like guys, when I tell you I don't know Rust, I'm literally telling you I've never wrote a single line of Rust. So if you are like me, we're going to learn this together. This is going to be a fun challenge, right? It's going to be a fun series, and fortunately we do have some tools. So I just want to keep setting this up, and maybe I'll have a tools. A little blip here. So we have tools. We have me, right? I'm a tool. No, I'm just kidding. It was low hanging fruit, guys. It was low hanging fruit. Okay, but so for tools, we have ChatGPT. In all seriousness, we have ChatGPT. So that can help us learn. That can help us distill stuff. We kind of used it yesterday. I showed you guys just copying all that, all that Solana documentation, and then just saying, hey, chat, can you just break this down into like 4 bullet points? So we're definitely going to use AI. It's going to help augment this series and augment the process. Augment just meaning like embellish, like just add to, right? So we have ChatGPT. What else do we need? We need Node. Okay, so that's going to kind of lead me to the next step, guys. Make sure if you have Node installed, Node.js. I do believe we need this installed. So go ahead and download that. That's going to be a important bit of technology that you need on your machine. So probably go with this one for now. Whatever one is kind of like recommended for most users is probably going to apply to you. So we need Node. As mentioned kind of over here, we need VS Code, right? VS Code. So that, and I'll put this link in the description. So that's going to be the very first thing you need to download is make sure you have Node installed on your machine. And then we want to have Visual Studio Code is going to be the IDE I use. Now, feel free to use any IDE you want, but there just could be some differences between our builds, which is fine. You know, use Google, use ChatGPT if you want to kind of navigate those differences and those small nuances. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. But the next thing I would recommend is let's just go ahead and get Visual Studio Code. So download it here. You know, choose whatever machine you're on. Probably this one for a lot of users, Mac OS or the Windows stable version. And guys, the next thing we're going to need is Rust. I don't even have Rust downloaded on my machine. So that is what I want to figure out today, is how to get Rust on this machine. So let's look into it. Let's dive together. I might have problems. I might oh God, might have problems. You know, might have a few issues here getting Rust installed on the machine. So let's try to figure it out. Rust programming language. And this is what I mean, guys. Like, don't be intimidated by this stuff. I know it's super easy to look at all this stuff and being like, oh my God, I don't know how to do software engineering. But if you just break it down to bit by bit and just struggle, you know, with each bit and try to iron it out each bit at one step at a time, you know, before you know it, you look back and you're like, it worked. Oh God, it worked. So let's go ahead and figure this out. Hopefully it goes as easy as I just said, just little bit by bit, right? So you could try Rust Online with Rust Playground without installing it on your computer. Okay, so we can see try Rust without installing. Maybe we could play around real quick and see what it's kind of about. So okay, perfect. So again, this looks a little intimidating if you're not in software, but we're gonna break it down. So we have FN, which stands for function. Looks like he's just naming the function, and then we're just printing a line that says hello world. So if we run it, I imagine it'll just say hello world. Let's give it a sec. My face is in the way. Let me move my face. Oh, there I go. There I go. Nice, guys. So yeah, it says hello world. So let's maybe play around. Let's say you know, welcome to the blockchain series. Boom. Run. Welcome to the blockchain series, and that's what it says. Print line. So okay, so we've defined the function. It looks like by an FN term, and then we've named our function main. And then, as mentioned again, have that print line. So if I want to print another line, maybe I can copy this down real quick and say, welcome to the blockchain series. And I want you guys to do this too, and just mess around. Just get your toes wet, you know? Little wet the whistle, you know? wet the whistle. I'll say, my name is Pags. And let's see. If I run, here we go. So we said, welcome to the blockchain series, and my name is Pags. So you can see we're kind of just printing some statements, and this is going to be very important for us console logging a few things. So let's get out of the jibber jab and let's go to the next step on Rust. So I'm going to go back to the home page again. I should have links for this in the description, right? So step one, we just kind of messed around, wetted the whistle. And let's see, Rust up, the Rust installer and version management tool. Guys, I'm going to move my face back. There it is. So it looks like you're running on Mac OS, the primary way that folks install Rust is through a tool called Rust Up, which is a Rust installer and version management tool. Looks like you're running on one of these systems. To download Rust, install Rust, then run the following command in your terminal. See other installation methods. So, okay, so to download Rust, install Rust, then follow. Guys, how do we install Rust? It says to install Rust, then do this. So this is what I mean, where we're just gonna figure out little bit by bit. I'll go to ChatGPT and say how to install Rust. Oh, let me actually make it a little more specific. How to install Rust in my Mac OS. In my Mac, I'll just keep it that simple. Guys, but here's what I'm saying. It's like be stupid. Let yourself be stupid. There's no pride here. I don't have any pride. I don't need to be the smart guy in the room right now. I'm just trying to figure it out. Let's just figure this out together. So install Homebrewed if not already installed. I do have Homebrew on my machine. If you don't, just quickly Google how to install Homebrew. Which it looks like this is how to do it. So looks like I would copy this code, and I could go to my terminal and say terminal open. And I did that by pressing Command and Spacebar to open up my terminal. And it looks like I can just paste that bit of code into my terminal, and it looks like it'll install. But I have Brew installed on my machine, so I am not going to do that unless we have an issue with Rust or with this next step. Then maybe I'll go back to step 1 here and try to reinstall Brew. But okay, so let's go to the next step, which is Brew install Rust. So let's pop this open in the terminal. I'm going to grab my terminal one more time. Brew install Rust. Let's see if this goes well, right? It'd be awesome if it's just super smooth. I don't know what it's doing. I think it's doing something. There it goes. So Brew update, auto update. Guys, this is going to be exciting. Rust is a bit of a lower level language too. So to kind of tackle it, hopefully in a way where it's really palatable and usable, I think would be phenomenal. That would be really impressive to do, and that's the goal I want to do out of this is to learn a lower level language and do it alongside of you guys, do it with you guys. Probably learn from the Solana engineer that I met at the last tech meetup, and ask a ton of questions. You know what I mean? And just learn. Just literally learn. This is a proper programming language, and if this is your first programming language, that's certainly a heck of an accomplishment to learn. So yeah, for me it's not. I've messed with Python a little bit. Obviously I've had a professional career with TypeScript, and a few other things. Messed around with Solidity, built things. Let's see what other languages I know. I've done C# a little bit, but Rust we're going to need to know competently. So I have no idea how it's going to go. Guys, I'm going to play a little bit of unreleased. Oh, that's old music actually. I forget which one's the unreleased music I have, but this is a good song too. I was looking for Aries Season, which is an album I had, and I couldn't find it on this laptop. And I was like, I swear I packed it all out. I swear I organized it all, and I couldn't find it. I was like, did I delete it? Why would I do that? That was an album that almost made me, a professional, a full touring professional musician. And what it amounted to for me was 2 sold out shows in Colorado, and having some small record offers, and it started to move the needle for me, and got my first 10,000 monthly listeners with this project, and my first 100,000 streams, and just a ton of first stuff, first a lot of things. And it was a thing, but the thing I'm trying to say is oops, I misplaced my album that almost made me a professional musician. Oops, don't you hate that when you misplace your albums that So that was a fun thing, but it ended up being on my other laptop, which was perfect, and it was all organized. It was exactly how I remembered it. I was like, perfect. All the keys, BPMs, and perfect organization. So good record. Really was something special. So So kind of cool that it's all coming full circle 4 or 5 years later. Because it was about 4 or 5 years ago when I made it, so back before I had a beard and, you know. All right, let's see. Just waiting for Rust to download, guys. Yeah, but gosh, I got some stories to talk about for that stuff. That stuff was such an interesting time, you know, like being on a stage. I almost want to have a podcast directly just talking about the ego, you know what I mean? Like the ego I had with being on a stage that was sold out. Like my ego was so big, you know, like so freaking huge. And the venues, they really curate to the artist, you know, because a lot of the event wouldn't happen without you. So I could like order drinks from this, you know, boom, it would show up. I could have people kicked out of the venue if I wanted. Like I literally would tell, you know, show managers, this person's not allowed in. Like it was dangerous, you know what I mean? It was dangerous. It was not good for my ego at all. And then on the other side, you know, and then I'm on the stage, and then I've got this picture of me. Let me see if I can find it. At a sold out show, right? And it just like was not good. It was not good for my ego. It did not do me any good. So here is the picture. Let me find it. Here's where it is. Let's see. Oh, dinner's ready. It's my dryer, guys. Boom, here it is. So those were different times, but that was not good for the ego. And then I had another show similar to that, and I had smaller shows as well that weren't as that successful and things like that. But yeah, I was running around with my chest super puffed, you know, and maybe rightfully so, but it's like, you know, at some degree it's like, man, really, you gotta run around like that all the time. All right, we're just waiting for Rust to continue to install. But so it was super interesting, right? When you know, everything I did, like every tweet, every person I texted, I always had this idea that I had to portray that like superstar-esque thing. And that's why I love this, because I'm just like, guys, I don't know what I'm doing right now with Rust. Like this is so humbling, you know what I mean? And I love that about software, because I know that no matter how good I get at it, I know there's going to be people who are better at it at other things. Within, like, the ecosystem's too big to be like masterful of it all. Like, it's too big of an ecosystem. You know what I mean? So even if I get to be the most talented machine learning engineer, there's a deep learning engineer who's going to be smarter. Even if I'm the most talented blockchain engineer, by the time I figure that out, there's someone who's going to be even better than me at the back end, or cloud, or DevOps, or something. Like it's too big of an ecosystem to have that type of pride. So and it's always changing. You know, it's a moving target. So to run around and say you're like the smartest of the smartest is just dangerous. You know what I mean? But in the music industry, that's like exactly what you do. You like go to studios. You're the artist. You're like the like, you know, the guy. But everybody does it. All the artists do it. So there's 10 people in the studio who have the ego huge as ever. It's just not fun, guys. Like I'm being honest. It's just really not fun. So I do love this software space so much more. It's so much healthier. People are so much more building, and it's like, oh, you don't know that? Like, here, let me help. Let me help you. So I'm a huge fan of the software ecosystem. There's still a little toxicity, but it's not near Like you might have the you know, senior dev who's like, you know, I'm all this in a bag of chips. But then you have, you know, the rest of the ecosystem that's super loving, super helpful, super compassionate. So guys, this is taking forever to download. Is this normal? So run the following terminal. Let's see. This is what chat says. So after we do brew install, looks like we check for the version. Then we're going to export the path. And then it looks like is that the command that Rust recommends? Proto curl looks a little different, but looks like the rust up is okay. That's for rust up. Yeah. So and then there's the cargo node package manager, which is so like npmi. That's kind of the space I come from. Is like yarn. Yarn add and npmi for installing stuff. Your node package manager. For Rust, they have cargo, which is where all their packages come from. So well, guys, maybe while this is downloading, maybe we could figure out a little bit more of Rust in this command area. So I'm going to go back to this and let's just play around with this a little bit more. What I want to do is write one variable. Let's see, if I say const, we'll say I am a number. And I think you have to do stuff like this. So first we're describing the thing we're doing, right? You're kind of building a variable, and we use this preface term const. You could also use let, I believe. So let is if we want to reassign stuff, but let's just start with const for now. That's fine. Then we have I am a number, and we'll say this is assigned. Equals in software engineering is not equals. It's you're actually assigning. Now in Rust, I have no idea. We'll have to verify a few things in Rust, but I believe we could do this in Rust and then go to here. And we have to add these empty curlies to put this number in here. I can't just pop this in here. If I just pop it in here like this, you'll see it'll just if I move my face again, it'll just say, oh, I see. So we also need to define the type. So help provide a type for the constant. Guys, I'm gonna help lead you through all these problems and bugs. So I am a number. Looks like we need to do a colon right here and then say I32. Let's see if that fixes our thing. Could not compile unexpected token. We need to add a colon or a semicolon. I have no idea which one is which. Okay, so that works great. But you can see, even if I put in I am a number right here, the variable, it's just going to print it out as a string. But really what we want it to is print out the number 3. We don't want it to print out the actual text of I am a number, because we can rename this text whatever we want. We could say, this is a number, right? And then this would be complete, like it's a string value. String just meaning like whatever we text right here, if it's between this quote and this quote, 2 quotes, it's just going to show that. It's just going to literally show whatever we text here. But we wanted to specifically show this number 3. So I think how to do it in Rust is we put these open curlies, and then we put a comma, and then I actually put this is a number right here. And Rust now knows to look at this assignment, this variable, and it's going to look at this assigned value, and it's going to pop it into this curly bracket, I think is how it's going to work. So let's test. Let's see. Welcome to the Blockchain Series 3. Nice. So, and the point I wanted to say is we could literally name our variables whatever we want. We just need it to be relative to the thing we're building, just so we understand. It's for us. The computer doesn't care, but whatever we name it, it's for us to understand. So let's say if this is going to be like a blockchain ID or something, you know, if it starts with like 0 and then the X or something, we actually want it to be a string value at that point. So it wouldn't be, it'd be like OX, right? Or not blockchain ID, excuse me, but like a wallet address, right? It would be OX and then all those Ethereum numbers after. We would put that here and say, welcome to the blockchain series, or something like this. You know, this is my wallet address. Now, more than likely what's going to happen is this is going to break because this is the wrong type for strings. If you're new to software, don't be intimidated by this stuff. It's all going to click. It takes time. It takes time for it all to start making sense. So I'm going to pop my face over here. Let's run this. And let's see, we're just going to play around. So it's going to say this is an error because expected I32 and found a string value, and this is how they're denoting string. So let's just replace it here and let's see if that works. If not, we'll look up some stuff and boom, it did work. So in JavaScript and Python and stuff, if we just do const wallet address, it knows to make this a string. And I don't know, let's try it. Let's see if Rust will do it. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. No, it won't. We need to define the type of data it is at every variable's instance. So that's good to know. That's good to kind of break stuff, kind of mess around, feel it out, see how things work. Yeah, this is awesome. So let's try one more. So const wallet address, let's say const blockchain ID. And I'll say, what was it? I32, I believe. And let's say this is the Genesis block, right? Like Genesis block ID, not even blockchain ID, excuse me, block ID. Let's say this is the very first block. Let's print a new line. I'll copy this down and I'm going to steal this blockchain ID variable. So I just command copied it. And let's see. So we'll say this is block number, and boom, let's say block ID. So exited. What did it say? Unknown token. This is my wallet address. Oh, I know exactly why. It's because we're missing a colon or a semicolon right here. So let's just put that semicolon right there. Add a semicolon right there as we anticipated. Say this is my wallet address at this address, and then this is my block number. Guys, awesome. So I think if you've done that successfully, first of all, congrats. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty big. Just we're learning Rust together. That's fun. Let's check in on this brew install, see what Rust is doing. I don't want to wrap the episode up. I would wrap it up here, but I don't want to leave you guys in the dust if we haven't installed Rust. So maybe what I'll do is stop right here, stop the episode, and then when this finishes installing, I will fire up episode the next episode. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. But if you've got to this far, consider that great progress. Consider that. You've made a significant amount of progress today, and great job. You know what I mean? This is huge. We're learning this together. We've made some variables. We're understanding. We're baby stepping into the types of how things kind of look, and we're kind of understanding how variables are built. We're printing in Rust. So we're doing the basics of wallet addresses and block IDs, and that's hard to do, guys. So just be patient with yourself. Let's be patient on the series. We have 80 more episodes to go. Great work getting this far. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, and I am gonna see you on the next one.